Welcome friends to this afternoon session of my 3 days event in New Delhi. In the morning I spoke in Hindi for a little while. I understood that many people in the audience did not understand English. Now I am told that most of you understand English, so I can this afternoon session say a few words in English. The purpose of my coming here and speaking to you is to share with you the benefits one gets if one is lucky enough to be found by a perfect living master. I was lucky enough to be found by Hazur Maharaj Baba Sawan Singh Ji, whose photo you see here. And he initiated me quite a while ago on 9th of March 1936, more than 83 years ago. So I got a chance for a while to question what he gave me, to have my doubts about what he has given, doubts about everything. And then by research, by study, by meeting many masters, many yogis, many swamis, to get ahead of those doubts and find out that the method of discovering our own true self, the great master Baba Sawan Singh taught, was a very effective way of finding who we are. His method is called Sut Shabd Yoga. Sut means attention, Shabd means the sound, and Yoga means union with your true self. The fact that our own true self, our soul, our Atma, makes us alive is a great thing. That means our reality is that which creates our life. Our soul is given a benefit of exploring a new creation of time and space by being gifted with a wonderful machine called the human mind. The human mind is a great gift to us because with the human mind we can expand our experiences into time and space, create past, present and future, and place any kinds of events we like on there, and create a pattern of cause and effect, which makes it a very interesting experience. It makes it a drama, a show. We were very fortunate to have that gift of a mind given to us, so we could explore our consciousness, our ability to be aware of anything in a very wonderful way. Not only that, we were given a further gift, that the perception of creation that the mind could do could be further refined and divided into separate sense perceptions, which means hearing and seeing were separated, taste and smell were separated, touch was separated. The five senses were separated from the perception which was already there in the mind. We were made to have another wonderful gift, a gift in which matter, molecules and atoms were added to ourselves to create a human body, and that's what we are wearing now. So we are wearing around ourselves, around our soul, three beautiful gifts like garments are worn on us. First garment of the mind. The wonderful garment is so good that we sometimes think we are the mind. We like it so much that we have begun to believe that the thinking machine which was given to us, the thinking machine which had the power to perceive, the power to make sense of sense perception, the power to reason, the power to use logic, the power to understand, all these are gifts with one machine placed around our life, our soul. It's like a body around us. So we sometimes call our mind the causal body, Karan Sharir. Karan Sharir means everything Karan has happened from their cause. Every cause is in the causal body. Whatever we can experience in any type of creation, in time and space, is being created through the mind and perceived through the mind. It's a wonderful opportunity. And then on top of that, we wear another body, sometimes called the astral self, the astral body, Suksham Sharir, because the astral body divides the perception of the mind into different sense perceptions. The hearing becomes separate from touching, and seeing becomes separate from smelling, all five senses become separate to generate the total perception, but in a variety of ways. So we are wearing that garment of sense perceptions, and those sense perceptions are called the astral self. On top of that, we are adding this matter of molecules and atoms, which constitutes the physical body, material body. And so we are wearing these three bodies on ourselves all the time. It's a wonderful thing. And we have not only done that. In each state, at each level, when we put on a new garment, we had a new experience. In the causal body, in the mind, we had a mental experience. We had a very wonderful experience of the creation of time and space, creation of events, creation of the connections between events through cause and effect, the birth of the law of cause and effect, which we call the law of karma. It was so wonderful that we can connect these things together and thereby create a life, mental life to start with, and then to make it more interesting, the next garment we wear, sense perception or the astral self, makes it a more wonderful garment to wear. It's an outer garment. But the best is to sit in a physical body, not even knowing that our real self continues to be the same self, our soul. These are just covers upon the soul. But we have made these experiences so real, deliberately, of course. We don't want to see illusions, we don't want to see shadows, we want to see reality. So therefore, although the process was merely one of introducing things to consciousness by being conscious of something, they were able to generate an actual experience of reality. So we might as well say that by wearing these three costumes, we created a physical reality, an astral reality, a causal reality, and the reality of our own self. So we are experiencing the reality of ourselves. And to make it absolutely real, we have made certain that when we are experiencing one reality, we will be totally unaware of the other realities. If we could be aware of all realities at the same time, they won't look real anyway. That is why our physical reality, in which we are sitting now, is the only reality for us. Others talk, whether there's such khand or not, whether there's any higher things or not, whether anything exists besides the body or not, is all questionable. Nobody is certain about it. We can assert things, but that's all talk. Our experience is not that. Our experience is only a physical reality. That is why we treat our physical bodies as ourselves. We give names. Our parents give names. The church gives names. Temples give names to this body, and we think it's our name. We identify ourselves completely with the physical body being our only experience of reality in the physical world. We don't even know that this body would not be alive if life was not in it, and life is not the body. When the body dies, something leaves, and the body is still intact. So what something, life must be something different. We don't even realize that the mind that thinks is not a function of the brain only. It can remember things. When you push it hard inside, it can remember things that did not happen in your course of this life at all. In fact, it's a wonderful opportunity for us as human beings to explore what is inside us. Not only that, to go all the way back to discovering our soul. And if you are lucky enough to find a perfect living master, a Sant Satguru, a perfect master, you can go beyond the soul to discover that the soul was not separate from its totality, that Atma was part of Paramatma all the time. This was just an illusion that we are separate. Everything is created by illusion, but made into reality by shutting off each level from the other. When we want to go backwards by going within ourselves, to uncover these covers upon ourselves, we can do it. Meditation is a way of doing it. What is meditation? To meditate upon something, to think about something, to put your concentrated attention on something. That is meditation. We are all meditators. We meditate upon the worldly things all the time. That is why meditation is not something new to learn. It's merely a question of using your attention and concentrating on something that's called meditation. The spiritual meditation is meditating on your spirit, on yourself, on your soul. How can you meditate on your soul? Because you are alive and you feel you are a self. Where do you feel you are a self when you are in a physical body? You feel it right in your head, behind the eyes. You close your eyes, still looking out from behind the eyes, still feeling that the way of looking out, the body is below us, we can feel it just by closing the eyes. Imagine all the sense perceptions, seeing, eyes, hearing, ears, smelling, nose, tasting, mouth, all in a small little portion of the body. The rest of the body seems to be attached to it. That we are operating, having our basic contact with the reality outside only through a small part of the body. Then if we are feeling we are operating from here using our self-perception, why not concentrate and discover where do we operate from in this small part of our body? It's not in the legs and feet we are going to find anything. So everything is to be found here. Even within that, you will find that where we think from, where we ask these questions from, who are we? Where do we ask this question? Close your eyes, ask with your mind, where am I? And you know you are asking this question not from your mouth, not from your nose, not from your ear. You are asking from somewhere behind the eyes. It is so obvious. Just little contemplation can tell us that we are operating as a unit of life from behind the eyes in a living physical body. If that is so, if we can narrow down the area of search to a small place behind the eyes, then it shouldn't be difficult to find who we are. All we need to do is go within to that point. How do we go within? Well, if we have to go within with our attention, a conscious attention, we can go the same way we use our attention to go anywhere else. Supposing I were to say, let us imagine we are sitting on top of this building. Our imagination will say, yes, there we are. We assume, we imagine something up on the building. We concentrate our attention. We feel we are on the top. We can start describing things on top. Just because using your attention can be put anywhere you like. Why not put the attention behind the eyes then? Why not say that you are where you are operating from? Pull the attention back. There's one problem. We are used to focusing attention, not withdrawing attention. This calls for withdrawing attention to ourselves, to the point from where attention originates. We have always used attention originating from inside, outside. Through these 9 apertures on the body, we are connected with the whole world. So the attention is flowing out. We have been practicing how to use that attention flowing outward all our life. We read books with that. We got studies from that. We talk to people like that. Everything we do with our attention is outward. Now we are told that you go inward, the opposite direction. We are not used to it. When we try to go inward, we understand we still have to focus our attention, and we don't go inward. We create a temporary image of ourselves, a picture of ourselves in front of us, and say, that is me sitting in the head. Without realizing what you are seeing couldn't be you. You are the one seeing that image. Therefore, you have to pull yourself back, the whole of you, not the image. The image does not help us. So that is why if we can lift the whole of us into the space that is created by closing our eyes. When we close our eyes, how much space do we have? The darkness that we see is all around us. It's unlimited. This space is unlimited. You close your eyes, the inner space is unlimited. Why do you have to make yourself small? Imagine you picked up yourself from your chair, from the floor where you're sitting. You picked up yourself, the whole of you in that space, dark space. If you do that, you don't see yourself. You are seeing what is ahead of you, what is in front of you. You don't hear that somebody is listening there. You are listening. If you can do that, then you are practicing withdrawal of attention, not focusing attention. A big error many of us who have been initiated for long periods of time have been making that mistake of thinking that focusing attention is the same as withdrawing attention. They are completely opposite to each other. So when you withdraw your attention back by imagining you are sitting there and imagining what you are doing there, not that to see what you are doing there, you are doing there. You can be sitting quietly, you could be sitting cross-legged, you could be standing up, you could be singing a song inside, you could be chanting inside, you could be doing anything. You'll be surprised that everything we can do with this physical body can also be done with our imaginative self. In fact, it can be done much better. Supposing we have weak eyesight, at my age, I have weak eyesight. I have to use my glasses. I can show you also. Now, if I wear my glasses, I can see you very clearly. Now I don't know who you are. Anyway. But inside, if you read a newspaper, try it out, you will read 2020 anytime. No matter what your age. You'll hear sound so clearly inside, you'll never be able to hear outside. All the sense perceptions are originating from the inner self. We are using those sense perceptions in our physical body and we are thinking they are located on the physical body. What a big blunder. Nothing is located on this body. Everything is inside. And we are using the same thing through the sense organs of the physical body in a very truncated state. So that is why if the inner eye is closed, you become blind. All the eyes can be intact. When the whole life goes, the body is intact, there is nothing happening. Nothing can be done with the body. That is why sense perceptions are a function of our inner self, which we call the astral self. Why do we call it astral self? Because, or we call it Suksham Sharir. Suksham because there is no matter in it. Astral because a new sky opens up inside, not the one that we are seeing here. Is there any difference between the sky we see inside and this one? There is. This sky has darkness at night and night during the day. It goes with the sun moving around us. Inside sky is constantly a twilight zone. You'll never find it very dark. You'll never find it very bright. So that is why there's a difference in the sky. There's a difference in the way we operate. There's a difference how we communicate with each other. In this physical world, sometimes people say, we can use telepathy. What is telepathy? Telepathy means we think one person thinks something, other can understand it without any other means of communication. Looks very strange. Very few people do that. Inside, everybody does it. Therefore, when you think something inside, others who are there immediately understand it. Another interesting factor is that inside yourself has no matter, therefore it has no weight, therefore it can fly easily. This body can't fly. Not only that, inside, if you place your attention sufficiently long, do the meditation of withdrawal of your attention to the third eye center behind the two eyes. If you do that for sufficient time, you can generate a memory of what happened to the body that you're looking inside. And you will be surprised that you will remember things that happened 100 years ago, 200 years ago, to yourself. How can that happen? This body is not been born at that time, which means that whatever we are calling the inner self, starting with an imaginative self, and now making it real by withdrawing attention from this body, it has its own memory that goes way earlier than the birth of this body. That is when you discover that the inner self which you thought is merely an imagination of the brain of this body was in fact alive even before the body was born. People who believe in reincarnation, they say one soul goes from one body to another body. Or after we die, the soul roams around like a ghost. It's not the soul. Soul never moves anywhere. Soul is beyond time and space. It's the astral body we are calling soul. The astral soul has approximately 1,000 to 3,000 physical years of life, average. And that is why it can have several bodies of several forms during one lifetime. But if you go meditate within the astral self, behind the eyes of your inner self, you go to the next step. Method, identical. You just to withdraw attention. Attention is coming from the mind. Withdraw your attention behind the eyes of your inner self. What happens? You lose consciousness of the sense perception. And perception becomes a direct thing from the mind. You don't need to break it up in order to see or experience or perceive anything. That's a very big jump in experience. Not only that, you discover how life is created, the purpose of life, how our destinies are made, what is pralabdha, how past life comes up, how past lives and future lives are created, how events are connected by karma. The whole thing is on the mind and the causal body, and we can have a direct first-hand experience of it. Just by meditating, it is deeper by putting attention and concentrating behind the eyes of the inner self. When you go there, after that there is no body because the sense perceptions are not divided. This kind of body is not needed. Causal body does not have any shape like this. Astral body is almost identical to this. Causal body still gives us a feeling we have a self. Now, that is the limit to which any meditation can take you. But it's a big high limit. It's the creation of the whole universe. So that is why several masters have come who have said they have reached our true home from where whole creation comes, and they take us to the top of the causal plane, the mental plane. Because all meditation ends. Meditation is done with the mind, and that's the limit of the mind. But teachings that come from perfect living masters, they say even mind has a life. The mind has a life maybe a few million years, 3 to 5 million years of physical time is a life of one mind. The mind carries all the memories. The whole pattern of karma, cause and effect, is not one life. It's based upon several lives carried on one mind, in one mind's lifetime. Therefore, it's not the reality. Then where is our soul? If the mind is also merely a cover, the soul lies as a life-giving function inside the mind. So when we want to cross all three, no meditation can take us inside. Because all meditation is by the mind. All meditation involves the ego and the self. I have to meditate. I am meditating. I am putting in effort. Effortless meditation is not possible. A friend of mine wrote to me once, I have after great study found that when the mind has to make effort, so the effort is not the real answer for going higher than the mind. So I have now found that the real secret is effortless meditation. Then he wrote to me at the last line, now I'm going to try very hard for effortless meditation. That's what we think of effortlessness. Our mind and ego does not leave us. Therefore, something else must work to take us beyond the mind. Now, there are some functions directly of the soul operating right here. Mind functions in time, it thinks, it reasons, it may use the logic, it does a lot of things. But there is one thing mind cannot do, and that is love. The experience of love it cannot generate. When you fall in love, what happens? It is immediate, spontaneous. And you are not thinking of yourself, you're thinking of the beloved, where you fall in love. Nothing else puts the mind in the back seat except love. That is why love is a secret of going beyond the mind. We always talk of love and devotion. In the morning, when I entered this hall, you were singing a song of Paltu Sahib, Sahib ke darbar mein keval bhakt pyar. In the Lord's chamber, nothing else counts. In the whole court, nothing else counts except love and devotion. Love and devotion. Why two words? If love is the power, why two words? Because when we experience true love, we are pulled towards it and we become devoted automatically. We become devotees automatically when love pulls us like this. Therefore, the terms have always been used together, love and devotion. Love, pure love, is very rare. Love is very common. Pure love. What's the difference between pure love and love as we use it? Mostly we use love for attachment. I love my car, I love my family, I love my children, I love my parents. In all these words we are using, I come before the one you love. I love my parents, I do this, I do that, I love. The I is so prominent, the ego is so prominent. In true love, there is no I. It's just the beloved. In fact, one Persian mystic very beautifully wrote, Ishq awwal dar dile mashuk paida mishwar, which means love is first born in the heart of the beloved. It's a pull. It's not forcing yourself. It's a pull that pulls you. Because it pulls you, there's no effort involved. Nobody's ever put effort for love. Love pulls us. Therefore, it is love that takes us beyond the mind. Pure love, which I am saying is real love, is one where there is no condition at all. It's unconditional. But when we love, we say, I have loved you so much, what have you done? I wasted my time loving that person and look how he betrayed me. That's not love. There is business transaction. I gave you this, you give me this. Love is a complete experience in itself. Now these perfect living masters will come into our life when we are ready and are seekers of that perfection. When they come into our life, they give us an experience of pure love, unconditional love, no judgment involved. We love them if they love us. They love us if we love them. They love us if we don't love them. They love us if we hate them. They love us if we kill them. That's the kind of love that you can see from these perfect living masters. We are always judgmental. Our love, what we call love, is also judgmental. If we have one moment of experience of love with anybody in this world, the next second we are thinking, was it real or not? We bring the mind into it. Love is not with the mind. Commentary upon it is from the mind. These perfect living masters, although they are in simple bodies like ourselves, they are born like us, they die like us, they take medicines and they are sick like us, they eat like us. Everything is no different. They are carrying a karma like us. No difference at all in their physical structure. The only difference in the state of their awareness. We are not aware of what is inside, they are aware. If we go stage by stage to higher awarenesses, we can have experience of one awareness, come back again to this. And remember a little bit, sometimes even think it might be a dream, because we go back to another reality. If they have reached their true home, which is totality of consciousness, totality of awareness, they are constantly 24/7 aware of every level of creation. So that is why when we meet them and they talk to us, they talk with authority because they are talking from what they are actually experiencing, not what they are remembering. It's a very big difference. Therefore, their love, when we experience here, comes not from the body, not from the senses, not from the mind, not even from the soul, but from our true home where we are all trying to reach our Sachkhand. That is why the love is very powerful. That pulls us, and our doubts can be one day completely brushed aside just with the power of that love. So the real reason why they come into our life is to take us above the mind to our true home with the power of love, which makes us devotees immediately, and the devotion comes naturally to us. In fact, I wouldn't be wrong in saying the spiritual path is a path of love and devotion. Great Master Baba Sawan Singh used to say, this is a path for the mind. Meditation is a path for the mind. My path starts from Parbrahm and ends in Sachkhand, where you discover the soul, and discover the soul is part of the total. So I am sharing these things with you briefly today. I really came so that I could give time to some people who have not met me before, but they are on the spiritual path, and they wanted to see if I, as an old veteran, having been initiated so long ago, can provide some guidance. I'll be very happy to help anybody who would like to have that and who has not met me before. Those who have met me earlier, I'll still join them for a little celebration on a dinner or something. So thank you very much for coming to this event, and I'll start those interviews for the people who are meeting my first time, and I'll be seeing you, most of you, tomorrow at 11 o'clock again. Thank you.